So there's 3 issues in Buffalo that we want to address right now. The first one is Deanna Davis. She's the young woman that was that accidentally hit the police officers following my arrest that night. All right, I say it was an accident because that woman was shot 8 times. All right,
Yeah.
She went into surgery that night, and within 24 hours of her surgery, she was released and sent into the holding center where she was sitting in a cell. So we're asking, because we understand, right, that they obviously don't have her best interest at heart, that she's returned home with her family until she can appear for her court date. So that's our first concern that we're tackling. Working for us, Cortland. He's the young man that was accused of throwing the firebox through City Hall at one of the rallies that was going on downtown. We understand that firebox did not cause a loss of life. That did not cause any type of extreme property damage, and they're trying to give this man 15 to 25 years in a broken criminal justice system. So we're asking that young man, instead of taking another black life from us, is returned back home to his family so he can receive the proper psychiatric care that he needs, and we can save a black life. That's what our focus is preventing the issue from happening. Quentin Suttles. Quentin Suttles is the young man that was beaten in the head about 5 weeks ago underneath a Buffalo Police squad car. The police officers that were involved with that have not received any disciplinary action yet, and we're waiting for something to come of that.
Buffalo police officers are pushing an older white man to the floor, and they just walking past him as he's bleeding out. How does that make you feel?
Well, I mean, so that in and of itself shows the humanitarian concern that we have working with our police department, because they don't have the concern for basic human life. They're taught that blue lives matter and they protect the shield at all costs, right? Because they're pushing the narrative that they are a unit and they move together. That's the wrong type of narrative that we should have with the police that are policing our communities, right? They should be working within the communities, doing things constructive and building relationships in our community, right? So that's what we're pushing for. But that man that was pushed down by the police officers, not only was he pushed down by a police officer, and another police officer asked him to keep going or nudged him on to keep going when they tried to stop and help, but then several other police officers stepped over him, right? So that's an issue in and of itself. But the biggest thing that came of all that for me is that those police officers were on disciplinary action within 45 minutes. Those police officers that beat Quentin Suttles, it's been 5 weeks and we haven't heard anything from the city about that. So that's where my concern is. I mean, Quentin Suttles is a black life. I feel extremely bad for that 75-year-old man that was pushed down, and I do know some of the people that have been out here protesting with him, and my heart hurts for him. And the criminal justice system is just so badly misstacked that Quentin Suttles, the same thing happens to him 5 weeks ago, and there's been no action taken for him.
Get off the head! Get off the head! Stop!
This is kills us. Dude, he's reaching the car. No, let it go. Let it go. I don't have nothing. Eagle. I don't. Madison. Let it go. Let it go. I don't have nothing. Stop. Yo, sir. Listen, man, please stop. Sir. Stop. I don't have.
You can't hit him like that.
He's gonna kill something. You're trying to eat the drugs. I'm dying. Stop. Yo, I'm dying. You need to stop. I'm dying. Yo, they got me. I'm dying, yo. I can't breathe. Stop. I'm not. Stop and doing what, sir?
You don't have to put him in a chokehold.
Stop. He's not in a chokehold.
You never get him bleeding.
I don't have anything, man. He's going. Huh? He's still going.
Yeah. Get off the him. No. Get off of him.
Stop.
Get off of him. Get off of him.
Stop.
Get off of him.
Little bit.
Get off of him.
Being a teen is crazy when life two-piece you with changes. Worry about what you're majoring, waiting on graduation. Cooking up like you Ramsey, the competition you baking. These opportunities knocking, they praying that we don't take it cause we liberated. And I do it cause I love it, I'm equipped with patience.